Hi guys, it's Jenny. Welcome to my week 37 pregnancy update. It's 37 weeks, you guys, and I'm feeling large and in charge. This week has been nice. I've been getting some stuff done around my house finally. Finally feeling like my nursery is actually coming together, and finally under the realization that most likely under a month I will be holding my son in my arms, and I am really excited about all of that. So the time is coming nigh and I'm still feeling a little stressed out, but in general everything is pretty good. So this week I had a doctor's appointment, and so I am weighing at the moment 143 pounds. Oh no, 142 pounds. I gotta give myself that pound, sorry. So that brings my weight gain at this point up to 35 pounds of weight gain since I got pregnant. And my belly is now measuring 39.5 inches around. And I started off at 24 inches. So that's where I'm at the moment. Everything with baby was good at my appointment. His heartbeat was in the 140s, which was great. And he's moving around, he's still head down, and he seems to be happy and healthy, which makes me really, really happy too. Now, the one unfortunate thing I found out at my doctor's appointment this week was that I tested positive for group B strep. Yay! So basically, group B strep is a bacteria that is found in the intestines of, I think it's something like 40% of women have this bacteria at any given time. And so when you're pregnant, it's not generally a good thing to carry this bacteria because it can colonize in your lady parts. And when the baby is being born, you can pass the bacteria to them while they're in the birth canal. And if the baby does acquire the disease from that bacteria, then it can cause some, bad complications. And in general, you just don't want to have to deal with your newborn being sick. And some of the complications from group B strep can be quite serious or even deadly. So there are some precautions that women who are positive for that bacteria have to take during labor and birth, just to make sure that your baby will not contract the disease. And so I talked with my doctor about these, and I've done some research online. And so the basic protocol, according, at least at my hospital, and this is different around the world, but in America, basic protocol is that you will have to go into the hospital once your water has broken, because your baby's environment is sterile when they're in their amniotic sac. But once the water is broken and the sac is broken, they're no longer in that pristine, sterile environment. They now have an open doorway, basically, to the rest of your system. So if your water is broken, then the bacteria from that colony can make its way up the birth canal to your baby. And so the longer that you have between after your water breaks and your baby's born, the more of a chance your baby has of being exposed to the bacteria. So that's why as soon as your water breaks, you are supposed to get to the hospital for antibiotics. And these antibiotics will most hopefully kill the bacteria and prevent it from affecting the baby. And so this is the plan at the moment. Of course, my husband and I live 2 hours away from my hospital, and so we will be on the lookout. So if my water does break, unfortunately, I was planning on laboring at home for a while until I was at that point where my contractions were under 5 minutes apart before I went to the hospital no matter what. But this just changes that a little bit, where if my water breaks, I will go to the hospital right away. I'm not a big fan of the idea of having antibiotics before birth, and for my baby to have antibiotics, because I don't want to wipe out the good bacteria in my gut and my flora and all of that, because I pass that good bacteria onto the baby, and I want the baby to be born with the good bacteria that he needs in his stomach, intestines, and all of that. And antibiotics would pretty much wipe him clean and leave him more susceptible to getting infections in the hospital setting. So I would rather avoid that if I can. But the most important thing is to keep baby safe. And so if I'm still group B strep positive when I go into labor, then I will absolutely get the antibiotics. And so what I've decided to do in the meantime is to try and clear myself of the group B strep bacteria using some natural methods, which have been shown to be effective in many women. And so I'll be doing that every day until baby is born, so hopefully I can get rid of this bacteria on my own. And some of that includes drinking and bathing in apple cider vinegar, taking garlic every day, coconut oil every day, vitamin C every day, and probiotics every day. And these things are all going to help improve the good bacteria in my system and eliminate the bad bacteria in my system. And hopefully, if I'm still pregnant at 39 weeks, then I will go to my doctor's appointment and ask to be retested for the group B strep. And by that point, I may have been able to get rid of it. So if I can prove that I am not positive for the GBS anymore, then I will hopefully not have to undergo any of those precautionary measures, such as the antibiotics. So that is my plan, and I'm trying to be calm and make sure that I don't get too stressed out about it, because I was feeling really good and really zen before I found this out going into labor and birth, and remaining calm and positive and confident is one of the things that I think is going to help get me through my natural labor. And so I want to keep that mindset going into it. I don't want to have this big fear looming over my head. And so that's the only thing I'm worried about a little bit, is making sure that I can keep myself positive and calm and relaxed about it and not freak out a little bit too much just because now there's this thing that may change my plans a little bit. The other thing is that during labor, if I don't progress very fast and my water has broken, they might try to move the labor along by trying to give me Pitocin or some type of drug to augment my labor, which obviously I am not a fan of and would not like to happen. But the most important thing is to get the baby out before it goes too long after my water's broken. So fingers crossed my water just doesn't break, right? That would be the easiest and best solution to all of these things. So if that can happen, I can go into labor and progress smoothly without my water breaking. That would be wonderful, because I can still labor at home. I don't have to rush to the hospital. And so that is what I am hoping for. So keep your fingers crossed that that's how it goes down. And in the meantime, I will be working my best to try and get rid of that nasty bacteria so that baby boy has a completely safe delivery and is not in any danger of getting sick from that. So that is that. And so that was my doctor's appointment. Otherwise this week, symptom-wise, I've been having a little bit more of that back pain back again, and I think it's because my tummy is getting a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier, so I'm not terribly surprised about that. And in the same vein, I've been having more trouble sleeping just because it's getting a bit uncomfortable at night now to roll around and lug this big belly from side to side, and I'm feeling much more pressure down in my hips and my pelvis. So that makes it a little bit more uncomfortable, and then of course you gotta get up and pee like 5 times a night, so there's that. And then I think you just start thinking and your mind starts going about the baby and labor and all of this stuff, so it's also just kind of hard to turn your brain off and make yourself fall asleep, because you're just always kind of on edge or thinking about it, or, you know, it's just always on you. Something's always on your brain about it. So That might also be contributing to my little couple nights of insomnia here. But besides that, the days have been pretty good and I've been getting stuff done bit by bit. I'm trying to cook some food for when the baby comes now, so I have it in my freezer ready to go, so that is something that my husband and I don't really have to worry about too much. And otherwise, I'm just trying to relax and enjoy the end of my pregnancy. Getting together with my friends for lunch. My husband and I are actually having people over here this weekend. I don't want to, like, you know, shut myself off and be shut in for the next 2 weeks just because I'm super pregnant. I still want to get out and do things and be social and have a life and just enjoy myself until he's here. So that's what I'm trying to do. And keeping up on my exercise ball and my yoga and all of that stuff, so that hopefully when he comes, I am all ready to go. And so that is week 37, you guys. Next week, I'll be back with week 38. When, let's see, I will officially be like ready to go, basically, at any point if baby boy is ready to go. I'm guessing he's not going to come early, so you heard it here. This mama is guessing I will be after my 40-week due date, before I go into labor, but you never know. So I've got the car seats installed, I've got the hospital bag packed, and if this guy decides it's showtime, then we are ready to go. So we will see whether that happens or not, and whether you do get a week 38 pregnancy bump date or not next week. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch up with you guys next time. Keep your eye out for my pregnancy must-haves video, and make sure you check out my what's in my hospital bag and what's in my hospital diaper bag video. I'm still waiting on a couple of things to come in that I've ordered for the nursery before I'm going to film my nursery for you guys. So hopefully that will happen this week as well. And yeah, that's going to be it. Lucy's like passed out over there. She's exhausted. From what? I don't know. Anyway, you guys take care. I hope all of you mamas and babies are doing wonderfully, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye! It's Jenny, and welcome to my 36-week bump date. I am having a really great 36th week, and my due date is now less than a month away, if you can believe it. I know.